Greetings, friends. Yesterday, actually later part of yesterday afternoon and last night, we got a ton of rain. It was actually this really bad storm that came through, and the lightning was just really crazy. And there was one moment where lightning struck on one side of our house right here, and it was like, it made like this pop sound, like a light bulb that popped. And then just a little bit after that, another lightning bolt struck right over there on that side of the house, and it made like that same pop sound. It was pretty interesting. So the weather can be interesting. Since the ground is so saturated, this morning won't be doing anything really outside. So I need to start a number of seeds, like these sunflower shoots here. And with sunflower shoots, you basically soak them for a number of hours. Usually typically do it overnight before you are ready to start them. So these have been soaking a little bit more than overnight. So then we grab our trays. We have a shallow tray. We have a deep tray with a shallow tray inside, and the shallow tray has holes in it. Allows the water to go through so your plants just don't sit in the water. And we just add composting here. That's your soil blend. This is a combination of a number of things, compost, and sometimes I'll add peat moss or cocoa coir, and we just spread it out. And when I spread it out, I like to spread it around. Let's grab a little bit more. And I like to leave it where there's just a little bit of space between where the soil level is and the top of the tray. So that way you're not washing your seed off as easily when you're watering. With gardening and homesteading, you are at the mercy of whatever is happening with the weather and the natural world around you. And a part of that, if you're looking and observing, you can become more attuned to the patterns and different things that are happening. Watching plants and animals and how they interact, it's pretty interesting. I've seen a number of things that if I wasn't homesteading, I would never have noticed them before. And just a couple days ago, I was walking towards the pond, and I noticed a vulture on top of a body in the water. The body was sitting just floating on the water, and the vulture was right there on top of it, right at the bank of the pond. And at first I thought it was a duck, so I ran rushing down there. And with vultures, for those of you who don't know, and this is one of those things that I've learned through observation, is vultures, they and buzzards mostly go after things that are dead. They're scavengers. They don't have sharp or strong feet to be able to grab like eagles or hawks. So their strength is in their beaks. They'll rip apart flesh and things like that. So I knew that if the vulture was on there, that the duck was, if it was a duck, it was probably dead already. So I wanted to walk over just to see what happened. And as I was walking over there, I could definitely confirm it wasn't a duck. The vulture flew off, which they do, and as I was approaching the body, I was like, that's definitely not a duck, but I have no idea what it is. As we approached the body, man, did it stink. Alright, I saw a vulture over here on something. I thought it was one of our ducks at first, but once I went over here and actually looked at it, I was like, it's not one of our ducks. I have no idea what it is. So, we'll look at it a little bit closer and use the tool. There's no way I was planning to touch it with my hand.
Stink.
A raccoon that's been there forever. Sure does smell. Looking at it closer, that's probably what it is, a raccoon. What should we do with it?
Huh?
Put it on the dinner plate.
Not mine.
Go ahead, Ben. You first.
Oh my.
Ben can eat it.
I don't think it needs to be buried.
Yeah, I don't think it should be in the water. All right, I'm gonna try to get it out. Don't throw up.
Well, I can't do it. I
I'll
can't.
try. Ben's wanting to do it. I'm gonna let him do it.
No, I just don't mind.
Just don't fall in the water, Ben. Oh, Ben's a champion. He got it. It's
That
not
looks
as
like
heavy.
a cat to me. Look at them ears. You want to take a closer look at it, Mike?
That's about as close as I want to get. All right, the hole is dug. I'm gonna go over here and pick this thing up with the shovel. This raccoon, pig, cat thingy, whatever it is, but just over 30 feet away, I can smell it. It's just ugly. It stinks. Oh man. Gonna be all right over there? Oh man. How you doing, Micah?
Good.
All right, let's see if we can get this thing covered up.
Yeah, we go.
Got it in the hole right there. Once we covered up, it was like, whew, I'm glad this is over with. So with homesteading, sometimes those are some of the ventures that you may have to deal with. All right, so next I'm gonna take my seeds here from my sunflower shoots, and they're just gonna spread them out right on top of the tray here. Just right on top of our soil, just like that. And with sowing seeds for, not necessarily sowing seeds, but it is for microgreens and shoot, you're really putting them on kind of heavy. Smooth them out, spread them out, and smooth them out. All right, these are ready. They're all filled up with seeds and ready to be watered. Then we'll stack them. They should be good to go and should start sprouting here in the next couple days. I like to do our starts and all of our microgreens and shoots indoors, and once I bring them in here, we'll start the blackout process, which will have them stacked on top of each other, and then on the top one we just set a tray and then place a brick, another brick or two on there, and then the next few days just make sure it stays moist but not super soaked, and the germination process will begin. As I'm in here, noticing that really need to get our cucumbers transplanted, and we have some more squash that's not looking that great, but we need to get that transplanted too, as well as this lettuce here. I prefer to do my transplants later in the day, so that way it gives them time to acclimate and not have the stress of the really high heat. And with lettuce, we'll make sure we put them under a shade cloth like we did with our squash last week. With homesteading, I have found that no matter what I do, I have a tendency just to get dirty. It is what it is. And I actually like this shirt too. This was a gift from one of our viewers. Shannon, thank you very much. I really like what it is and what it stands for. Dignity, authority, and dollars. So we'll try to keep it cleaner. But that's still just the way it goes with my clothes and shoes with homesteading. There's even been times where we've been working outside and gotten dirty, and then it's like, oh, we need to get something in the store. And then we're like not even really thinking about it, and then we just go into the store and kind of looking a little dirty and maybe a little ratty according to some people's eyes, and they're like, you can tell they're just like, what in the world? Are they homeless or what? But it is what it is. Womp 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 womp. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good. Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Eat some oatmeal there?
Yep.
One of the things that I've learned recently about oatmeal, and I learned it through the Weston A. Price Wise Traditions podcast, is it's better if you soak your oatmeal overnight before you cook it. It helps your body, and to do that with a number of grains, it helps your body to be able to digest it and absorb the nutrients better. So I'm looking forward to trying that pretty soon. What about you guys? Have any of you tried doing that with some of your grains, soaking them and then preparing them and eating them? So as we're walking around our upper garden here that we just started this year, and we have some corn growing here, we can see that the heavy rains that we had really beat down some of the corn in some spots. So we're gonna have to figure out how to prop it back up. So you can see right down here, this corn's bent over. Oh man. So I guess we're just gonna have to take some of the soil that we have from up there and just kind of make a mound around them to support them. Hopefully that works. All right, Selah, let's get on it. Hey Selah, if you could go ahead and hold up the corn, keep it from falling while I make a mound around it with the dirt here, it'd be great.
Yes, sir.
Give it a little bit more strength to hold it up. All right, so we have the corn propped back up. Hopefully they survive. And while we were working here, I noticed we also have some more radishes that are ready to be harvested. And I also noticed something else. Some time ago, we planted watermelon over here. So some of them look like they might be ready. And with watermelon, you want to look on the bottom side to see if it's turning pale yellow. But this is an heirloom variety. I don't know. So I think we need to get Lacey's counsel, get her out here and see what she thinks. Another thing you want to do is thump on it to see if it sounds hollow. So I am not sure. Here's a typical kind. So we'll look at it. It's a little easier to tell, but you can see it's not ready yet. There's no yellowing happening there. So, and it doesn't sound hollow. But let's go get Lacie and see if she can provide us with some counsel on if that watermelon is ready. Hey guys, you doing some compost work there?
Yep.
Sounds good. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. So the rain did some beat down on some of our corn. So Selah was doing a good job helping me out. Way to go, Selah.
Good job.
And as we were there, we noticed some watermelon. Looks like it might be ready to harvest, and we want to get your counsel on what you think, because some of these are heirloom varieties, and typically you're working with the green, and then you turn them over on the bottom and see if it's turned to pale yellow, and you kind of thump on the inside. But this one's starting off already a light color, so we don't really know.
Well, and I've planted several different varieties, and they were different sizes, so let's go check them out. Yeah.
So we were looking at the green ones, and I didn't notice any yellowing on these yet. Whoops, this one does. The other one over there did not. We got another one over here. This one has a little bit, it's turned that pale yellow.
Yeah, but
It doesn't sound quite hollow yet, so I don't think that one's fully ready.
That one's more white than yellow. So you want them to yellow out a little bit more. Now this one is just huge. And I think this one we're gonna go ahead and harvest.
Actually, it does now that we can see a little bit more in the sun. It does look lighter down here.
Yeah.
And it does have that hollow sound.
And this one, I planted some Asian melons. I think they're kind of a cross between a cantaloupe and watermelon maybe. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually just, look at this.
Pick 'em up.
You wanna hold it?
Yeah. Watermelon.
There we go. Let you carry it this time. I'm so trying to do a good job not getting this shirt dirty. I'm actually going to go ahead when we go inside and change. But I really like this shirt, and I'm trying to stay clean because with my clothes, this is the way it goes. They start getting dirty here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and next thing you know, I got holes in them. They look all ratty. Actually, a couple days ago, we had a surprise visit from some friends of ours, and some of you may know them. Off Grid with Doug and Stacy.
Doug and Stacy showed up while I was gone. And Mike called me and said, we got something in the mail that you need to see. And I'm like, oh no, what could it be? Because he sounded like it was something bad. I was like, is it bad? And so when I got here.
What you got? Oh. Turn around.
You did not.
I knew it.
Until
I was like,
Bones came over.
no, he didn't say anything. And I was like, you know what? That looks like Doug's truck.
I knew the truck. I said, man, I should have moved the truck.
You got me. I was like, we're like, who is that?
Ah.
Yeah, it's not every day that we get an Amish looking guy here on the property. Both Doug and I had a past of where we really like to dress nice, and I probably would call it, I had that metrosexual look going where had my tie. I would like to wear a tie a lot, and sunglasses that coordinated with the tie, but I am so not that person anymore. Values change, priorities change, and it was just neat having a discussion with him on that. But now I get more enjoyment, not from dressing nice, not that that's wrong, but doing nice things, doing good things, like planting, harvesting, and sharing watermelon like that.
So I'm thinking this one needs to be harvested too. I think these were some smaller ones. Let's see, that's really yellow there.
How's that? Hit the knot sound, see if it has that hollow sound. Yep, sounds like it to me.
So let's take this one.
He looks interesting. What about this one? This one's got yellow and it's hollow.
Let's try this one first. Then we can always come get that one later.
This is our first time this year harvesting watermelon, and we actually haven't really grown watermelon here in the past. So it's pretty exciting. This is our first fruits of watermelon. And we typically donate our first fruits, but since this is our first time growing these, we actually want to make sure that they're ready. And with our first fruits, we usually just give them away.
Let's try this one. I think this is a different variety. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a tropical fruit.
So we'll get the seeds out. Here we go.
You'll be the first to try.
Yeah. It's not quite ripe yet because it's not real sweet, but it does have a little good crunch to it.
Can I try that one?
Mm-hmm.
How's the flavor?
There's not a whole lot of flavor to that. So that's probably...
So this one needs to go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
How was yours, Selah?
I like it.
It's not bad. Now, let's try this guy right here. Here we go.
I don't know why, that one just looks like it'd be good.
Oh.
Maybe it's not ready yet, but it just looks like that would be a good watermelon when it's fully ready. But we'll see.
Yeah, but you know, these were grown where that land, we just cleared it this year. So, you know, it probably needs more fertilizer and everything too.
It needs some more love.
That's right.
To help it to give back with more love. That's the way it goes. You gotta give love to get love sometimes.
Be a giver.
How's that one taste?
I mean, right where it's red,
Tastes pretty
it's
good.
a little sweet. The outside
Mhm.
isn't as much.
Yep. I'm gonna be yours too. Alright, next
There's
one.
that one. Oh, now you want to come over here, huh? Let's cut this big one, and I hope this one's ready.
Whenever you talk about food, boys typically come.
Yes. Okay, here we go. I like cutting them this way.
Big Daddy. Or Big Mama. God.
Yellow flesh.
Oh,
Here's beautiful.
there. It is pretty. Look at the design in it.
That him open.
I will. Here, I'm gonna. I like to go in on like this. Okay, let's see here.
May I try that one first? I just got to. Thank you.
I want to eat this one.
I got a piece. Still not super sweet,
I want mine.
but
You get me a
know.
piece.
it's kind of like our first year growing.
Mm-hmm.
I want
Here, hold on.
Out of the ones that we've done so far, that one's definitely the best one so far.
Okay, here's the last one we picked. Might as well cut it open.
Interesting.
Interesting.
That's way different.
This one actually might be a squash.
It's lot.
Yeah, I think this one is the squash.
Whoops. That's not a watermelon.
And speaking of squash, we need to try the squash that we fermented.
Sure, since we're doing this taste testing
See.
here, we just fermented some squash a couple days ago, and we shared that with you in the squash video, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already. But now we actually get to try and see what it tastes like. Hopefully it's pretty
I'll
good.
go get them.
Having problems with that seed there, Micah?
Yeah.
Or is the seed having problems with you?
Okay, excuse me, sir. Let me get these. Okay, so we fermented them a couple different ways. I left seeds in some, and then others I took the seeds out of, and some I put the grape leaves in, and that is for the tannins to keep it crisp. I wanted to see if that would help. So, last night I did have to open one of the ones that I put the grape leaves in, because I wanted to make sure everything was below water. Because the other day I had to do that. Some of them had molded on top, so I have to take that out, make sure everything is submerged. So this one has a grape leaf in it. I don't have a bunch of fermenting weights, so I did wash off a rock and put it on top to keep everything submerged. So this is the one with the grape leaf, and these had no seeds in them. And so let's try them. They're good. And they're still crunchy. You want to try one?
Sure.
Here we go.
I opened a big one.
That is pretty good.
So grape leaves, no seeds. Let's see. Here's the other one that had the grape leaves. They had with seeds. And I had to take the grape leaves out the other day. Like, see, this was above the water. You don't want to eat that. I had to put some rocks down in those.
I'll try this one. No, I'm alright.
You can tell how entertained I am by that. Do you want to try one?
Actually, I kind of like that one a little bit better.
It's a different kind of squash than you had in that one. It's a little softer, but
Yeah.
still crunchy.
Yeah, both are good though. What do you think, Selah?
This one, the first one's really good.
Okay.
I like it way better than I thought it would. Open this one. Open this. Here I go.
So what's the difference between these two again?
This one, the squash, we didn't take the seeds out of, and then this one doesn't have any seeds.
All right.
And one thing about fermented foods is that it's really good for gut health. You're getting all those good probiotics. And Sally Fallon from Wise Traditions, she talks about how 1 teaspoon or tablespoon of sauerkraut has more probiotics than a whole bottle of probiotics that you can buy. And those are really expensive. Do you know how much it costs to make a jar of sauerkraut? Like, what is cabbage? Like, maybe 50 cents a pound, head of cabbage, salt, and water. And that's all you need. The yellow squash, especially those more mature yellow squash, they stayed really crunchy. You want one?
Nope.
Oh.
So we not only eat to feed our bellies, but we also do it to nourish our bodies. And with the watermelon, even if we're not huge fans of the flavor of it, we can still make it into a juice or a drink and still drink it and get the benefits of it. Because watermelon is really good for you, especially males. Watermelon has a number of different properties that are really good for guys. Well, we're going to keep enjoying these a little bit and then move on to homeschool and a number of other things I have to do around the homestead. But we share these things with you in our vlog, sharing our life, but also sharing with you things that we're trying out. This is the vlog, so that doesn't mean we do everything perfect. As you can see, the watermelon was not perfect, and the squash we're doing for the first time fermenting. It was a success, but again, it was our first time doing it. And that's one of the things that we hope to inspire you in, is maybe some of you have never done things before. Maybe you've never started a garden, maybe you've never raised chickens, maybe you've never even been out to a farm or anything like that. But just do what you can do. Well, that's it for now. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.